Hello. This is my I think second video in the series I'm making on like a Roblox Studio tutorial, and today I'm going to be going over a little bit more scripting. Yes. uh, so I'm just gonna make a part because you kind of have to have a part. Uh, but also because I'm going to be using this part to create a damage grip, a damage brick. And so yeah. So I think talked about this in the last video, but you make a script by using this add thing, and then you just double click it. Let me close this. And then you just double click it to have it like open here. Uh, you usually don't need this print hello world unless I don't know. But anyways, so let's get started. I'm not sure if I talked about this in the last video, but there are two types of variables. So there is the local variable, which you create it by saying local, whatever the name is, and you can put an equal sign, but you don't need to. And then you can also make a global variable by not putting local in front of it. There's no global keyword, so it doesn't exist. Um, but you should use local variables because they are faster, I heard, and they take up less space in like the drive or something like that. I'm not exactly sure about how it works, but it just does. So yeah. Um the the global variables, in case you're wondering, they do not like go across scripts. So you cannot use them for like a cache stat or whatever you want to use that for. But anyways, so in case you came from scratch or another programming platform like that, in Scratch you type like on start something happens, right? Well, you don't type it. You put the blocks together. But in this, when you hit play, all the scripts automatically run unless it's inside of an event. So if I say script dot parent dot transparency equals what 0.5, right? You can see that right now it's not transparent at all. And then when I go into the game, it is semi-transparent. So there's that. Uh, so what I'm going to be teaching involves a function, and you do not need to like type. You do not need to like type this, but feel free to go along with me. This is kind of just to show you like how some of the stuff works. So first, I'm going to say script.parent. So this is referring to the part. If the part is named laser, it will still be referring to the part. It's why do I even say that? Whatever. Uh, but script.parent dot. So the parent has some children that are automatically there. Uh, but there's also properties, which are these like cube things. And what we need is an event, which is this lightning thing. That's an event, and it's touched. So anything that touches it. So if the base plate touches it, then it'll try to kill the base plate once we type in the code, right? So what we want to do is we want to check if it is a player. But first, you have to connect it. And to connect it, you type colon and then connect. Right? This connects the event with an actual function. So function, connect function, and then you delete this other extra parentheses. Right? And then you press enter. And it'll automatically put an end plus a parentheses for you. At least it should. So now we're going to check if the toucher, I guess, is a humanoid. So the functions have functions have arguments. It's basically what it like the variables that are put into the function. In this case, the whatever part touched it is what it'll give to the function. So t will be like if I touch it with my hang on. If I touch this part with my left lower leg, then it will register that the left lower leg touched it, right? So, anyways, you want to check if, in case you didn't notice, um, in the player's model, the all these items, at least these collidable items, the humanoid root part, I don't think it can touch. But all these touchable items, these all are direct children of the model. And inside of the model, there's a part called humanoid. There's also a part called humanoid root part, but there's a part called humanoid. And basically, if anything contains humanoid or humanoid root part, unless you've been messing with something or you got something strange off toolbox, it should be a humanoid that has health. So how we check is if actually no, I'm gonna make a variable, and this is gonna be, let's call this hum. So uh, this is, I'm just gonna use t, right? T dot parent. This is referring to the actual model. Uh, colon, which colon can also initiate functions and not just events. Find first child, and you find the, this is just the first instance uh, that has this name. So find first child humanoid. So if, so this is just, this variable will either contain nil if no, the toucher is not a humanoid, or it'll contain the humanoid's like uh instance, I guess, instance value. So if hum, then, so if there is no humanoid and the value of hum is nil, then it will not proceed with this. Hum dot health minus equals 1. So you can set this to any number, but I'm gonna set it to 1. Just, I don't know, 1's a nice number. Um, this dot is how you call a child. It's also how you call something else. I forgot. Oh, it's also how you call how you call properties. So in this case, this is calling a property. This is calling, okay. This is technically not a child because it's a parent. So like, oh, I think I've explained parents and children. So like in this is the parent, this is the child, this is the parent of the child. It's pretty obvious. I would assume. Um, so yeah, the script's about done. This is just a basic math function. If you want to change something without typing it out again, so like equals hum dot health minus 1. Instead of that, you can just type minus equals 1. So now, when you touch this cube, it should hurt you. You can see that this is not 1 health at a time because the like it registers the touch many times, like way too many times in my opinion. So um, what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna make a debounce, which a debounce is like, it's a limiter to how fast something can happen, right? So it's pretty good if you're um, it's pretty good for going like to make sure hackers or exploiters, whatever you want to call them, aren't doing anything strange. This debounce prevents things from happening too fast. So I'm gonna call it db equals true. So I'm pretty sure I talked about boolean values, right? Anyways, and then if db then, right, okay. You want to make db, if you're using debounce, you want to make the debounce variable false ASAP once it's activated. And task.wait, which this is how you wait. There's also another way, and it's just called wait. Uh, it's so it's there. It's a little bit different, but like you should use task.wait because it's just better. It's a newer version. So I'm gonna set this to like 0.1. So you should see that the damage occurs a lot slower now. Even if I shimmy on this. Wait a minute. Oh, okay. So take two. You should see that the health goes down a lot slower. It's very inconsistent, but it's slow enough that it seems to be dealing. You know what? That's not 1 damage at a time, but like close enough. And then just to have something a little bit, just to have some fun, I'm going to make this part. I'm gonna make this part explode the player. Yeah. So local. I'm gonna call it exp. You can name variables anything you want, unless that variable turns a different color or like becomes bold or something. So you can't name something local. You can't name stuff like uh, script. No, yeah, you can't do that. So wait, what? Anyways, you what? Anyways, so exp equals instance dot new. So an instance is just anything here, anything that you can see here. These are all instances. This is an instance. This is an instance. This is an instance. These are instances. It's just an object, I guess. Um, instance dot new, and then you put a string in here to create something. So in this case, it would be explosion, which it's very nice that it gives you like this little thing, so you don't have to like look at all the you don't have to like guess and check. So now exp holds the value for the instance explosion. Yeah, for this explosion instance, right? And we have to set exp's properties. If you set exp's properties, you'll set this explosion's properties. exp.parent equals game.workspace. Because if it's anywhere else, it won't function as an explosion. exp.position equals t dot position. So whatever part touched it, like the right foot, will get that. That's where the explosion will begin at. So um, oh wow, that now hang on. Oh yikes. Let me like zoom out a little bit. Boom. So you can see that there's like a few more explosions than necessary, but it works. So um yeah. I guess that's all I have to say. Uh uh please subscribe and have a good day. Bye.